Okay, welcome back to the bench. So here's one of the things I'm working on right now. This is a new freight yard office from Monster Modelworks. I think I'm going to put it, I have a spot for it on the layout, let's say that. It's not that large a building, maybe 2 by 6 or something like that, but it looks cool. And I'll zoom in. You can see the interior up top there. It just begs for an interior, so I will put an interior in that. And I'll probably go ahead and put some lights underneath this canopy that sticks out and some lights inside and I don't know, maybe a light or two outside, cool stuff. So this is a kit. I've had this for a long time. And of course, I haven't followed the directions, but I have read through them. Good instructions. You get several pages. I'm not too worried about the paint and about the pigments and whatnot. I'll use my own stuff. It does give you a layout of all the parts. Very nice. Then it gives you how to build how to sand the edge of the walls, which I tried, but I still think I have the brick off. We'll find out. Now, what he did when he made this kit, he assembled the 4 walls and then glued in the support pieces. These pieces support the roof. I didn't do it that way. I have it this way. Let me just pan over here quickly. See, I have it drying up over there with all those support pieces glued on now. And I glued them on with canopy glue, Formula 560. It works really good with wood. Well, it works really good with a lot of stuff, but I find it works very well. So they're all glued up there. Figured it'd be easier to do that. Let me spin back. I think it'd be easier than, trying to glue them all in here with the building together. So it's all flat and I glued them together. And this, goes on and you put the brick lintels on and you put the windows in. I have painted the windows. All the windows and the door are painted. I didn't use white. I used Vallejo spray, one of the, I think, Russian green. I think it'll look pretty cool. It does give you acrylic sheets for in the windows, so they're going to be like wide open. So that just begs for an interior. So we will do that. And the roof. Now the roof sits, let me see if I can go back to, the roof sits on, okay. Roof sits on top of these, so they're all kind of lined up. And I did kind of line them up before I glued them. So I hope they're close. It doesn't really matter. They're close enough. So there's going to be a roof on top, and then I want to put a floor down here. Now what I'll probably do is the roof fits in between. I'll use that same size, but I'll notch out for each of these down below. You can see there's these here. I'll notch out for it. I'll be able to slide that in, glue it from the bottom, turn this over and glue it from the bottom, and then super detail inside here, inside this window, with whatever I decide to put in there. I do plan to paint the inside, give it a spray of some Vallejo paint. I don't know, like a gray color or something like that, just to spray something inside. So that's that. That is the kit. That's what I'm working on right now. I do have the paints ready to rock and roll for the outside. Nothing's painted yet. This is what he used. He used the cheap paints, so I'm going to try that. I got what's this one here? Heritage Brick, Burnt Sienna, Red Iron Oxide, Tomty Red, and Tuscan Red. I'm not sure exact what I'm going to use yet, but I have all these. Probably these two look really, really close, don't they? Yeah. Probably use that. So, okay. So that's where we are right now. We got that drying up. I want to let it sit overnight. Then we'll assemble the building. Get the floor cut for the office installation. See if the roof fits. Make sure everything goes together nice and square, or as square as I can. And we'll go from there. So let's let's move on, folks. Okay, we're back. So here's the inside of the walls. They're painted up. And you can see they, oops, I hit the camera. They are the inside of the walls. Did I? Okay, good. So these will go all together. This goes on to here and like the bottom, etc., etc. All right, so that's, I'm going to let that dry up real nice. I did paint the smokestacks or vents that go on the roof. They're painted a grimy black. Then over here, I did paint the, oh, this is dark over here. Did I turn that on? No, that is on. I painted the, call it the awning and the awning cover. This is the underside, so this will go like it is. And then what I'll probably put on the underside is a string of lights, but I'll probably black out that one and black out that one. So I have three, one over the door and then two kind of over the windows a little bit further down. So that's what I plan to do for that. Then I'll solder on here, bring one set of wire into the building for connection down below. This is the front step, painted concrete, at least painted layer number 1 concrete. So like I said, this will actually go like this, and this is already folded and everything, and then I'll glue on that, and then I'll get the lights put on that. This stuff over here is later on. This is for the brick lintels. That'll be the paint the same as the bricks. This is the roof. They're the two holes for the vents / stacks. So that there is my roof. I can check the squareness and make sure it fits. And this will also be, this should be the same exact size as the floor that goes in the office / yard office area. So this will sit up top, and then I'll have another floor I'll cut out of. I don't know what I'll cut it out of. Something pretty sturdy. Maybe some, it won't be paper. It won't be cardboard like this. Maybe I'll use some of that craft board or something like that and notch it out to fit in so it can slide down a little snug. And then, like I said, turn the building over and glue it in from the bottom. So that is where we are right now. More to come later on. Thanks. Alrighty, real quick here. This is the building going together. I have the back wall kind of glued in, and I have the front wall glued in. I did use the 1, 2, 3 blocks. I think I got these. They weren't from Micromark. They might have been from Travers Tools. I think they were a little bit cheaper than Micromark, because Micromark tends to be a little bit expensive. But things are kind of glued up here, so I can take this off, and everything should be nice and square. Take this off, and then remove the weight with the square at that end. Now this is support for the floor, and the floor I have right here, and that's been painted, so that goes in here. Got some supports on the back of it, so that'll slide in. I got to figure out exactly how it goes. Then it slides down, he says. I might have to open up these a little bit. Looks like this one's it needs to be opened a little bit. I can do that. And then it slides down, and it goes in place, and it sits on this, and it's all the way around. So, that's all the way around. Okay, let's continue along, and let's get the one side on. Need to get this side on, obviously, and then this little piece out here, and then at least the building's all together. So let's get that done. Okay, there we are, drying up. I have the other side just set on there for a little bit. I'm going to let it sit for 2 hours or so, just to let it dry up, and then glue in the small piece that goes way over here, and I'll glue that in. That should be simple. So let that sit. And all I used, if people are wondering, not that people really care, but All I used was canopy glue. It works very, very well with wood. I find no issues with it. And that's what I use when I build wood kits. Then maybe I'll play a little bit with the floor, which I did paint a Vallejo spray gray color just to give it some color, and that will fit in there. I guess I could check it now, but I want to let those set up a little bit to make sure. If I need to, I can always trim the notches to go down a little bit. So, all right, let that set up, and we'll see how the building looks. Alrighty, so here's the building. It's all together. It has the brick under the windows. That's all installed. I do have one slight error. I'm off here at the corner. I don't know if I can focus on that. The piece from the outside is supposed to cover the end of this, but there's a little bit of a gap there. So I am off a little bit. I don't know if that'll focus on that. Let me see if I can. Yeah, I'm all okay. So anyway, whatever. There's the floor inside to be detailed for the big window that goes around the end of it. And I have lighting for the bottom side, 2 LEDs to the left and a double yellow to the right. I may put a wall in here. Now the wall, oops, the wall may go on the other side of this down in here. I'm not sure. Sorry about that. I'm moving the camera and I'm moving the building. It's all going at once. Earthquake. I do have the hole drilled right here. That's for the canopy. The canopy goes in. Those are the wires underneath the canopy. I'm still not sure if the corners are all right. I think I goofed them up a little bit, but next is to paint it. Then over here, so here's the canopy. I got it painted black, grimy black on the bottom side. There's the wire going in. This is the top roof. I want to come back. I just got this glued up. I want to come back and paint that a gray color to cover everything up, but I'm waiting for the canopy glue to dry up, but it has been painted both sides, and I will paint the outside again and put the light dirt on it like they recommend. So that is that. So the next step, get my wire out of the way. That's what I'm using. And I'll probably extend these too. These will be extended. So either I'll connect everything together or bring it down through. I'm not sure yet. All right, so the next step is to figure out which paint to use to paint the exterior. I don't know. I got to think about that. So that's next. So more to come. Alrighty, and you get to hear my email go off. All right, so what I'm going to do here, we're back at the bench, and I got the building painted and a little bit of weathering done. You can see I put a little bit of metal slag pigment on it. This is a good break point, so I'm going to go ahead and stop after I babble on for 5 minutes or so here. Post this video. It's about halfway through, but I'm waiting for some interior pieces to show up. Waiting for a new material, a new Roberts material, actually, for the mortar lines that I may want to try. So it's a good spot to stop while I wait for the items to come in to the house to get this posted, to keep things moving along here. All right, so that's the front. And again, I think I did mess up the corners. I did the best I could when I painted that, but it's going to be back a ways, so I don't know you're going to totally notice that. And on the back side, you can see this mess. This I did play with because this backside won't be seen. So I figured if I'm going to mess up something, I should probably mess up the back. What that is I believe Bragdon, it's in this, I think that's what it is. It's this powder, which is kind of a lime white color, so I think it's Bragdon, I think, mixed with, this, 99% alcohol. I made a slurry, or I made a wash out of it. Might be a little bit too thick. and then came in and did a wash, but it just looks too white to me. So either I cut that back and just do a real light wash and maybe do it a couple times till I get the mortar lines that I want. You can see up top here I did nothing. Or I try that Roberts mortar mix that's coming to me and try that. I have some old stuff from where is it? I must have put it away. Sorry, from my man Bill Shaw, but I have to reconstitute it every time I use it. It's all solid, and I have to add water to it, and it's just a mess. So I figured I'll try some newer stuff, see how that works. Okay, so that's where I am on this. I do have, you can barely see there in the back, all the windows are done. They're back there. They're right. Yeah. They're all done. They're just sitting there with the protective part on the back. They go on, obviously, inside here. I do have the, oops, let me zoom back out again. I do have the top part that kind of folds over. That goes down to the roof. I do have that painted. That's painted the same color as the canopy, which is, as a matter of fact, let's take a quick zoom. So this, let me get some light on the subject here. This is the canopy. I showed that before. And that's the wires that go in, and that's and that's the top side. Kind of a light brown color. Nice color. Okay, and then there's the painted underside of the roof. And again, these I need to extend, and I will extend them. I will go ahead and do that. So that's that. Oh, look at that nice little steam engine I got from my main man, Bill. Huh, pretty cool. Okay, that's another project. So that's where I am. I'm starting to gather some details. Here's air conditioners. Here's some some radiators, some shelves. I put a doorknob on the door. I got some more shelves and things to make here if I want to from Interaction Hobbies. Some gas meters. And I bought a bunch of other stuff coming into me. That'd be cool. I do have, this is a piece of gator board. Everyone seems to love that. So I figured I'd try it. And this just happens to be cut like exactly to, it's weird. It's 2.75 is how wide the building is. And this piece is cut almost right. I mean, it literally is perfect. Let me get around this side. So I might put it on that. Obviously drill the holes for the wires to drop through and everything. But that way it gives me a little bit of a surface to put on the layout itself that I can cut out, cut out a square and then plop the building in. Cool. All right. So I think I may do that. That's that gator board. Pretty cool stuff. All right. So that's where we are. I'm going to go ahead and stop here. Post this now as he babbles on. Good Lord, it's past 5 minutes in this last segment. Okay, so let me post this up, go on hold a little bit while I wait for the things to come in, and then we will finish the building, and we'll post the rest of this. Thanks for watching.